The first time anyone noticed the boy's hands shaking over his test paper was the morning the city woke beneath a hard gray sky, the kind that pressed down on buildings and spirits alike. Inside one of Chicago's most elite private academies, a place funded by towering donations and polished reputations, a thin 12-year-old named Lucas Whitmore sat frozen at his desk, staring at another page of red marks. He was the son of one of the wealthiest men in the country, yet in that moment, he looked smaller than everyone else in the room. While classmates whispered and teachers sighed in disappointment, no one saw the quiet panic behind his eyes, or how badly he wanted to succeed and just could not. This was the beginning of a story that would change 2 lives forever. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the idea that the smallest acts can change destinies, take a moment now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Stories like this remind us that compassion still matters. Lucas had failed every major exam that semester. Math, science, reading comprehension, even simple problem-solving exercises left him overwhelmed. Tutors came and went, each more expensive than the last, but nothing stuck. His father, Charles Whitmore, a self-made billionaire who had built an empire from technology investments, was used to fixing problems with resources and strategy. Yet this was one challenge money could not solve. He watched his son withdraw further each day, shoulders slumped, confidence fading, and fear replacing curiosity. What Charles did not notice was that the boy felt invisible, buried beneath expectations far heavier than his young heart could carry. Every afternoon, after the halls emptied and the students went home in chauffeured cars, one man remained behind. His name was Aaron Brooks, a quiet janitor in his late 30s who worked the evening shift to support his own young daughter after losing his wife years earlier. He wore worn work boots and a faded uniform, and he moved through the school with careful dignity. Aaron noticed things others did not. He noticed the torn pages in Lucas's notebook, the way the boy lingered in classrooms long after the bell, and how he stared at the floor as if it might swallow him. Aaron knew that look. He had worn it once himself, back when life felt too heavy and failure too loud. One evening, as Aaron cleaned the hallway outside the study room, he saw Lucas sitting alone, surrounded by textbooks, eyes glassy with exhaustion. There were no teachers left, no tutors pacing nearby. Just a boy and the weight of expectation. Aaron did not interrupt. He simply cleaned nearby, quietly, until Lucas looked up. Without words, Aaron pulled a folded piece of scrap paper from his pocket and began sketching shapes, lines, and simple patterns. He showed how every problem, no matter how complex, could be broken into small pieces, just like cleaning a massive building one room at a time. He did not teach formulas or rules. He taught patience. He taught perspective. He taught the boy that failing did not mean being broken. Over the following weeks, something shifted. Lucas began staying later, not out of fear but curiosity. His test scores improved slowly at first, then steadily. His posture changed. His eyes lifted. The teachers were stunned, and his father assumed the new tutor was finally earning his pay. What Charles did not know was that the real change came from a janitor who never once raised his voice, never once judged, and never once asked for anything in return. The truth came out on a rainy afternoon when Charles arrived early and saw Aaron sitting beside his son, guiding him through a practice test with quiet patience. He watched from a distance as Lucas solved problems on his own, confidence blooming where fear once lived. In that moment, the billionaire realized something that shook him to his core. All the money in the world had not helped his child, but compassion, humility, and understanding had. Charles learned about Aaron's life soon after. A widowed father working 2 jobs, barely making rent, sacrificing sleep to give his daughter stability. A man who carried his own struggles silently while lifting someone else. The realization hit hard. Success, Charles finally understood, was not about power or wealth. It was about impact. As weeks passed, Lucas's grades soared. More importantly, his spirit returned. He laughed again. He believed in himself. And every day, he thanked the man who showed him that learning was not about perfection, but persistence. If this story is touching your heart right now, take a moment to engage with it. Like the video, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe if you believe stories like this deserve to be told. Just before the ending, here is a special request for you. Please comment below with one word that represents what kindness means to you. In the end, Charles made a decision that changed all their lives. He ensured Aaron would never have to scrub floors again unless he wanted to. He funded his education, secured his daughter's future, and offered him a role in the company focused on mentorship and outreach. But the greatest reward was not the money or the title. It was the quiet moment when Lucas, no longer afraid of failure, walked proudly into his next exam knowing he was enough. And in that moment, 3 lives stood transformed, all because one man chose to teach with heart instead of authority.